Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Testbook Super Coaching for Regulatory Bodies. कैसे आप सब लोग? जी हाँ, I'm audible to all. सबको आवाज आ रही कि नहीं? एक बार कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल दीजिएगा. And we'll start with the session. This is a PIB session. Every week Monday को हम PIB session cover करते हैं. तो जितनी भी लास्ट वीक में PIB की न्यूज थी उन सारे न्यूज के ऊपर हम लोग बातचीत करते हैं और other than that we also try to cover some MCQs. So in this session also, I will first discuss few PIB news which are important for our exams, and then if time permits, we'll go through some MCQs also. Otherwise, MCQ will be there in your PDF, जहां से आप अपनी revision कर सकते हैं. You can practice the questions around the same PIBs. So yes, once again, very good evening to you all, and welcome to Testbook Super Coaching for Regulatory Bodies. I will start with the session. Again, this session and on Monday we are covering basically two sessions. In the morning, a weekly current affairs, especially finance, economics, in the banking related. That part is on in the morning 9 a.m. and in the evening on Mondays the 6 p.m. we are covering the PIB part. We try to cover through MCQs as well as the news, but again it is all depending on the time scenario because we only have 1 hour to cover this particular part. So first, rather than wasting the time, we'll start with the news. First, we'll talk about some important PIB news which were there in the last week. So first thing, the cabinet meeting was there. Cabinet meeting, of course, our गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया कैबिनेट उनका मीटिंग जब होता है, so उस मीटिंग के बाद बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट्स, सम इंपॉर्टेंट पॉलिसीज, सम इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट. एंड वन ऑफ द बिग डिसीजन व्हिच वाज टेकन लास्ट वीक बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, near about 6 big decisions taken by the government. Out of those 6, 5 will be very important for our exam point of view. So the first is the project Mausam. So government of India is focusing on the mission Mausam or the project Mausam. And the main focus of this is that in India we should have a climate smart as well as weather ready Bharat. So the major focus which they have mentioned over here, climate smart as well as the weather ready Bharat, that is the criteria they have mentioned. So 2000 crore budget allocation is there for this mission Mausam and for 2 years. So questions can be asked in different angle. First of all, for how many time frame for or the period of this scheme or this mission for 2 years? What is the budget? 2000 crore. And what is the purpose? What is the objective? So climate smart as well as weather ready Bharat. You can experience or you must have experienced few things in India in last few months. For example, heat waves in the summer. The latter phase of summer was very dreadful for Indians. Heat waves were there. Then when monsoon started, almost every big city of India experienced flood situations. So that problem is there. Means climate change is there and we need to understand the climate change. We need to adapt ourselves to the climate change, and for that purpose government of India started with this project Mausam. Now, what government is exactly going to do in this particular mission? What will be the government of India's major focus? The major focus will be on the India's weather and climate related science, research and services. So government of India wants to boost the research work, the proper accurate information. So government of India is going to put some money, going to put some resources for the research and development regarding the weather. Then it will help the better equipped stakeholders including citizens and the last mile users in tackling extreme weather events and the impact of climate change. Even the common citizens, all the other stakeholders like farmers will be there, some industries, government offices, some departments, even the common citizens. So if there is an extreme weather event in India, how to tackle those events, how to manage ourselves with those events, that will be the another focus of government of India. And in real time, government will try to inform citizens of this country. Then mission focus to include improving observations and understanding for providing highly accurate, timely weather and climate information, which I have already mentioned that accurate and timely information, a real-time information should be with the common citizens of this country. That is another factor which is mentioned here. Now, the three institutions will work with government of India under this. Okay, अब यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना, ये भी बहुत जरूरी है. Which three institutions? Indian Meteorological Department, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. दिस क्वेश्चन कैन बी देयर इन द एग्जाम, डेफिनेटली फॉर श्योर ये क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में बन सकता है कि कौन से 3 डिपार्टमेंट यहां पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने इंक्लूड किए हैं. सो वन इज इंडियन मेट्रोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, then a tropical meteorological Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, and third is a National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. All these 3 institutions works under Earth Science Ministry. We have a separate ministry called as Earth Science Ministry. Dr. Jitendra Singh sir is the Minister of Earth Science Ministry, so he is going to handle. So very simple mission launched by Government of India, announced by Cabinet recently, बट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. मैंने ज्यादा कुछ नहीं, जो पीआईबी का उनका इन्फोग्राफिक्स था वही यहां पे रखा हुआ है, जो आपके लिए याद करने के लिए बेटर होगा. तो अगर आपने यही से याद कर लिया तो भी इज मोर देन इनफ फॉर यू. यू डिड नॉट टू गो इनटू एनी अदर नोट्स, दिस विल बी मोर देन इनफ बिकॉज इट्स अ ट्रस्टवर्दी गवर्नमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट एंड क्वेश्चंस पूछने भी होंगे तो यही से आने वाले हैं और कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करने की जरूरत नहीं है. दैट इज द फर्स्ट कैबिनेट अनाउंसमेंट ऑफ द लास्ट वीक. Then the second announcement of the last cabinet decision was Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana number 4. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is there since the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. 2007-2008 we started with this scheme. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana's main purpose is that to create all weather roads, especially in the backward areas of our country, rural areas of our country, or the left-wing extremist areas of our country. So the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is still working and it is under the phase 4. Now under phase 4, what plans government of India is having, and this phase 4 will run up to which year, these things we should know. So we'll talk about that. उसके ऊपर एक बार बात कर लेते हैं. प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, it is starting, obviously the phase 4 will start from the 24-25 till it will be by 28-29. This will be the first question for the exam point of view. ये कब तक के लिए चलेगा? The first point is year. Second point is of course budget allocation. Budget allocation is the most important thing whenever government of India is announcing any scheme, any policy. So the budget allocation here is 70,125 crore is the budget allocation for Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. That is the second point which is mentioned here. Now the third point is that how many kilometer road government of India is planning under phase 4. So government of India is planning 62,500 kilometer road, that will be the focus in 25,000 unconnected habitations. So 25,000 habitations will be in focus. That is the amount of money, 70,125 crore. Then year, then how many kilometers they are going to create or the construct, and how many habitations they are going to connect. So these are the pointers under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Again, left-wing extremist area will be the major focus. The backward district, जिसको aspirational district कहते हैं, that will be the major focus of Government of India. Again, Ministry for implementation of this scheme is Rural Development Ministry. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan sir is the minister of this particular ministry under which this scheme will be implemented by Government of India. Now the major thing, any construction, any infrastructure work in this country right now comes under the aegis of Gati Shakti. We have PM Gati Shakti, everyone knows about that. So any infrastructure work, either is the urban area, in the rural area, or the coastal areas, or the national highways, or the railways, any kind of infrastructure or the construction work always comes under the aegis of PM Gati Shakti. So information regarding this, the updated information regarding this means how many kilometers we constructed, which areas we have covered. So all that real-time information will be available on PM Gati Shakti portal. That is another criteria mentioned by the Prime Minister of India in this cabinet meeting, or decided by the cabinet ministry in this particular meeting. So that is a second scheme. Now third scheme, this scheme is not new actually. Both the like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana was also very old scheme. This is not the very old scheme, but it was launched in this year in the month of March. तभी से launch किया गया था. Before elections, basically, we have launched this scheme called as a PM E-Bus Seva. So scheme was already launched by the Prime Minister of India in the beginning of this year. But right now, what was exactly announced? The announcement of the payment security mechanism. what problem we are facing right now in India, especially with e-buses. Many municipal corporations, they have the e-buses, but they are not able to run those e-buses on the daily basis because of the operational cost. Operational cost is bit higher. So government of India assured municipal corporations that for 12 years, from the deployment till the 12 years, the operational cost support will be given by the government under this scheme. So this scheme is actually created to provide some financial support, some operational or the procurement support to municipal corporations so that these e-buses can be used as a public transport scenario for our country. So again, this scheme, what government of India has talked about is near about the budget allocation is 3435.33 crore is the budget allocation for this particular scheme. Again, the scheme will run up to 28-29. Just like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana 28-29, Mission Mausam was for only 2 years. So schemes are going to work for 28-29. Now government of India is going to focus on 38,000 electric buses. So 38,000 electric buses will be the focus area of government of India. Again, government of India is going to provide the operational support for 12 years. That is the most important factor here. For 12 years, the operational support will be provided by the government of India. That's the case of procurement as well as operational support. So financial जो backup चाहिए municipal corporations को वो उनके पास आ जाएगा, तो वही factor यहाँ पे है. So we saw 3 announcements: Mission Mausam, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana phase 4. The third thing is regarding the PM e-bus seva payment mechanism. Now we'll go to the fourth, another point regarding electric vehicles. Now this is a new scheme. The announcement of new scheme is there, and whenever there is an announcement of new scheme, you are going to experience multiple question. And here the question will start from the short form and the full form, because the name of the scheme is PM e-drive. So of course questions will be asked. Electric drive revolution in innovative vehicle enhancement. So basically e-vehicle infrastructure will be pushed by government of India. The charging stations as well as the purchasing and the use of vehicles will be supported, or the stimulus will be given by government of India so that e-vehicle use should be promoted in this country. Last time, which I have mentioned to you people, because we have already one scheme in our country for e-vehicles. The scheme is FAME scheme, faster adoption of manufacturing and electric vehicle. We already having this scheme. Under this scheme, we are promoting the adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles in India. That is a full form. This scheme comes under Heavy Industry Ministry. We have another scheme. Again, this scheme is also trying to push the use of electric vehicles and the infrastructure related to the electric vehicles. Under PM e-drive, we are not focusing on manufacturing. Here we are focusing on manufacturing as well as adaptation. Here we are majorly focusing on the use, adaptation and the infrastructure related to this. Again, PM e-drive as well as FAME, both schemes comes under Heavy Industry Ministry. Yes, sir. The Heavy Industry Ministry is going to handle this. So HD Kumar Swamy, he is the minister right now of this Heavy Industry Ministry. Now let's see what government is planning over here. Again, this is for 2 years only. This scheme is for only 2 years, just like Mission Mausam. So for 2 years, the budget allocation is 10,900 crore is allocated by government of India for the next 2 years. Now, government will provide subsidies and incentives, for purchasing of electric 2-wheelers, electric 3-wheelers, e-ambulances and e-trucks. That is the most important point. Okay. They are not discussing about the e-4-wheelers. They will, under PM e-drive, government of India is going to provide, again remember, subsidies or incentives for the purchasing of electric 2-wheelers, electric 3-wheelers, electric ambulances and electric truck. Yes, so electric truck is first time discussed in our country. So that's why this is very, very important. Again, government of India is allocating 500 crore for the e-ambulance deployment. That is another focus. Again, some provisions for e-buses is also given. Then there is a 500 crore allocation for e-truck that is also mentioned by government of India. And last but not the least, the charging stations. Charging stations for every type of vehicle, even the 4-wheelers, even the 2-wheelers, even the 3-wheelers. So faster charging stations will be promoted. So that is a major focus of this. Again, this scheme is only for 2 years. The 10,900 crore is being allocated by Government of India under this particular scheme. So this is the fourth scheme which was announced by the Government of India. The fifth scheme which we are going to, or the fifth announcement of the cabinet which we are going to see, is not that important. So we can easily skip it. Even I will suggest you skip that directly. You can jump on the next point. But we'll just go through it. एक बार उसको visit कर लेंगे. The announcement regarding the hydroelectric project. Hydroelectric project. So some budgetary support modifications done by the Government of India regarding this. So Ashwini Vaishnaw, he's the Information Broadcasting Minister. He discussed about it. So it is not that important for our exam. So मैंने जानबूझ के इसको डाला है so that we should know, but we should have the idea that such kind of announcement were also done by the government, but not that important for the exam. So we'll skip and we'll go to the most important announcement, and that announcement is this. Under Pradhan Mantri, under Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, that is called Ayushman Bharat, very famously called the very famous health insurance scheme of Government of India. Now government added a new feature in this scheme. The new feature, or I will say the new eligibility criteria into this scheme. This scheme is available. The Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana is already there in our country from 2018. We created this scheme in 2018 in the month of September only. In this scheme, the BPL families, below poverty line families, are getting 5 lakh health insurance per annum. So per annum, 5 lakh health insurance per family under this scheme which we are providing. Now the new addition in this, if the person is above 70 or above 70, if any senior citizens, any the individual is 70 or above 70, they are going to get, irrespective of income, irrespective of category, they are going to get the 5 lakh health insurance support from the Government of India. Suppose, for example, certain BPL person is, suppose some BPL 70-year plus person is there. His or her family is already getting 5 lakh per family support under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Now this individual who is a buzurg or the senior citizen from the family is going to get separate 5 lakh support, under this Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana. So this announcement is individual basis. Otherwise, Ayushman Bharat health insurance is mostly the family oriented, but for senior citizens, it is individually based. So it's a big announcement. It's a really very important announcement, and many questions will be asked over here. So that's the case announced by the Government of India. Rest of the things are, actually I have discussed everything which is important for the exam. Again, remember the scheme was announced in year 2018 under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, that is a health insurance scheme. We are covering secondary and tertiary healthcare. So we are only covering secondary and tertiary healthcare under this certain scheme, not other healthcare support, only secondary and tertiary healthcare. So remember that, because questions can be asked or questions will be asked around this certain point. That's it from this particular news. I will go to the next part. I will go to the next news now. This is a very simple, again, PIB oriented announcement, not for the phase 2. Obviously, such kind of news are not for the phase 2, but for the phase 1. अब आप कहोगे sir phase 1 is already done, but we need to keep a habit of reading such kind of news. Many students are doing one mistake. Phase 1 is done and dusted. Okay, so that's why many students are thinking कि अब क्या ही पढ़े, क्यों ही पढ़े, किस चीज के लिए पढ़े. Remember one thing. If suppose you are not able to clear the phase 1, then you need to restart. Okay, rather than restarting anything, keep this thing in habit. Okay, read current affairs on the daily basis. Try to read it, try to make it your habit, because it will help you a lot. Not only clear the phase 1, it will help you to clear phase 2 as well as the interviews. Might be these questions they are not going to ask in the phase 2 or the interview, but we need to keep a broader mindset. The broader mindset is that we should know things. If we should know things, then automatically the knowledge will be much more stronger. Don't be choosy, don't be selective right now, because right now we just need to gain the knowledge. That's why when UPSC students is jumping into the RBI Grade B exams, they are more successful. The reason is that they are not choosing their news. They are not just demarcating stuff. They are reading everything. They know everything. They can handle any kind of questions clearly. But when it comes to the banking students jumping on into this PIB or the RBI Grade B part, they are becoming very choosy. They are like कि इतना कौन पढ़ेगा, इतना time किसके पास है. If UPSC student can read everything, you can definitely. They have more subjects. They need to cover many things. You have less subjects. Okay, you definitely should read these things. So remember that. थोड़ी सी habit में डाल दीजिए, आपके लिए better होगा. Now, Paralympic archer Sheetal Devi and Rakesh Kumar, who won the bronze medal in the Paris Paralympics, they've been chosen as a brand ambassador by the Election Commission of India, especially for the PWD voters. So those people who are Divyangjan, to woo those voters, Government of India appointed two icons. Election Commission appointed two icons. One Sheetal Devi, everyone knows about her, and Rakesh Kumar. These two together won the bronze medal in this Paris Paralympics. Sheetal Devi was already the Election Commission's brand ambassador from the beginning of this year. When general elections were there, she was appointed as an icon by the Election Commission. Now, before moving forward, from tomorrow onwards, we are starting a special current affairs weekly session on our paid platform. So we have we have a batch right now. The batch is Laksha batch. In that Laksh batch, we are going to start with the current affairs session from tomorrow. So the session will be at 12 p.m. 12 को 12 बजे हमारा session start होगा. So you can join that. To enroll into Laksh, a foundation batch, you can use this coupon code PUSHPAK. Okay, I'll go to the next news. Now this is important for us. Now, India-US working together in areas like critical minerals, supply chain, and advanced technology. So recently India-US, because last time India and US signed one agreement, and that agreement was regarding civil nuclear supply. That thing we have covered in the last lecture. For civil nuclear supply, we already have one agreement, okay, with USA, with United States. USA is the biggest exporting partner of India. So whatever the export we are doing these days, the majority export is going to one country, and that country is USA. Another agreement which we have signed with the USA is regarding defense supply chain. Regarding defense supply chain, our defense minister was in US in the last month. So we signed few agreements, especially for the defense supply chain. Now another discussion is there regarding critical minerals, supply chain, and advanced technology. This supply chain is other than defense. Other than defense, supply chain means basically the transportation, the export, import. So that kind of scenario. Now critical minerals. Critical minerals are very, very important, especially for the electronic manufacturing or the lithium, like lithium batteries. So critical minerals, according to Government of India, we are focusing on 30 critical minerals. The Indian government is focusing on 30 critical minerals. So what is the definition of critical minerals? Such kind of minerals which are economically with utmost importance and having some supply constraint. If the mineral having a huge economical importance, but at the same time having some supply constraint, then those minerals are called as a critical minerals. That is the definition. Every country having different types of critical minerals for their importance. According to Government of India, the 30 critical minerals notified by the government as the utmost importance. So USA is going to help India for these critical minerals. Already for these minerals, we have agreement with Argentina. We have agreement with Chile. We have agreement with Australia because they are having the huge resources for these minerals. So ये भी एक point याद रखेगा. And for the advanced technology, of course, USA and India are going to work together. So that will be the question. So this can be the another question. I will show you the PIB news related to this. Okay, I will just open the PIB document related to this. So Commerce and Industry Ministry, Shri Piyush Goyal Saab announced about this. So that's it. बाकी तो इनफ है एग्जाम के लिए. वही सारी चीजें जो मैंने आपके साथ डिस्कस की थी. एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी मींस ऑब्वियसली AI, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग एक्सेट्रा. Now, I have set to host the Indians Defense Aviation Expo at Jodhpur. Very simple, straightforward news. No need to go in detail for such kind of news. Obviously, from the PIB. Such kind of news are very classical for the phase one, very classical news for the phase one. But yes, we need to keep that in habit. Aviation expo, basically Air Force is keeping one expo, so common people can come visit, they can experience how our Air Force works, our jet planes, our fighter planes are there. So for that reason, in Jodhpur they are going to organize this. That's it, that will be enough, nothing to work more on such kind of news. I will go to the next part. Yes, this is important. National Health Authority and National Health Authority and IIT Kanpur signed MOU for the development of digital public goods for AI in healthcare. So AI in healthcare, so artificial intelligence in healthcare. So now AI is everywhere these days. Damn everywhere we are using the AI concept these days. So our health ministry, under our health ministry, there is one department called as a National Health Authority. So National Health Authority and the IIT Kanpur, they decided to have a tie-up, and the tie-up is for AI in healthcare. So IIT Kanpur, being a technical institution, they will create some AI tools for the healthcare system of our country, so that if people are having some issues, some questions, some queries, some doubts, so AI can answer those things. AI can create some good services, so that the citizen of this country can get the real-time information regarding in future, if in future we have the pandemic experience or the epidemic experience, so citizens will not get panic and they will get the real-time explanations from the health department, and that's why this type is being done. So remember, questions definitely will be asked over here. Apurva Chandra sir, who is a health secretary, was present while signing such kind of scenario. So again, National Health Authority and IIT Kanpur, they have signed this. Union Health Family, CEO of the National Health Authority. So CEO of the National Health Authority is LS Changsan. So LS Changsan was also present while signing such kind of agreement. That's it. He's Apurva Chandra. Such kind of news are important while write down the answers also in phase 2 as a case study. How we are using the technology in our healthcare system, how we are developing our healthcare system. So in that case, you can write such case studies. So yes, such kind of news are important for phase 2 also, because जितना आप current case studies डालोगे, जितना आप current examples डालोगे, उतना आपके लिए ज़्यादा better होगा. So don't forget to use such kind of examples while write down your answers. Okay. So I'll go to the next PIB news. स्वभाव स्वच्छता संस्कार स्वच्छता 4S Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now 2nd of October is coming, and 2nd of October Mahatma Gandhi's Jayanti, from where we started a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in this country. So we started a new campaign called as a Swabhav Swachhata Sanskar Swachhata 4S. A very important campaign, no doubt about that. And Swachhata and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is depending on the Sustainable Development Goal, Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission. All these are depending on Sustainable Development Goal. Again important for the phase 2, again important for the social issues, where you can write down about this and even the questions can be asked. So remember that. So 4S campaign, every year we are launching some or the other campaign for the awareness purposes. That's the news. That's it. Nothing more. Ministry is Housing Urban Affairs Ministry. Manohar Lal Khattar Saab is the minister of this particular ministry. That's it. I'll go to the next point. PM set 500 billion target for electronic sector by 2030. This is the important news. Very, very important news. Semiconductor conference was organized recently in Greater Noida, called as a Semicon. So it was organized, Semicon India 2024. The conference was obviously inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India. He gave one target in this conference. He talked about one target, and the target is by 2030, the electronic sector of our country will be having the capacity of 500 billion. Right now, Indian electronic sector's valuation is $150 billion. $150 billion is the valuation of our electronic sector. Government of India planned that by 2030, by the end of this decade, we are going to reach up to $500 billion. It is quite feasible the way right now the electronic sector is working in this country. It is quite feasible, so we can achieve that. So that is the focus maintained by the, or that is a target set by the Government of India. Now, when it comes to semiconductor, we have major 5 projects which are approved by the cabinet recently. 5 major projects. 3 projects were already approved. For example, Tata Electronics Semiconductor Fab, Tata Electronics Semiconductor Packaging, and CG Power Semiconductor Packaging. These 3 projects were already sanctioned by Government of India at the beginning of this year. This project is in Dholera, which is in Gujarat. This project is in Morigaon, which is in Assam. So Assam में Morigaon नाम का एक place है, वहां पे इसको किया है. And this project is in again in Gujarat के yes, in Gujarat this project is being announced by the Government of India. Now the other 2 projects, for example, Micron Semiconductor again will be in Gujarat, and the Canis Semiconductor Packaging again in Gujarat. So this, remember, this and this. These 3 projects is in Sanand, Gujarat. Sanand, Gujarat. These 3 projects. The one project which is in here, that is in Dholera, and this is in Morigaon, Assam. So in Gujarat there will be 4 projects out of 5, and 1 project will be in Assam. So remember that questions are definitely going to ask by the examiner. So semiconductor mission we have, semiconductor policy we have. Under that, these 5 projects being announced by the government. Now the next news is again very simple. India to host 2nd Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference on Civil Aviation in New Delhi. 2nd Asia Pacific Conference on Civil Aviation. The first conference, this first conference was organized in 2018 in China. India was ready to organize the same conference in year 2020, but there was COVID-19. Then it was postponed to till 2022. Again, was not feasible to organize due to the issue of COVID-19. Then finally, we are organizing this right now. So again, very simple. Civil aviation, we have the Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. That scheme was also discussed during this, and this was organized in Delhi, Bharat Mandapam. That's it. Nothing more to discuss about that. You can see 11th and 12th September it was organized. Civil Aviation Ministry, Ram Mohan Naidu sir is a minister. Rest of the things is okay. It's not, we need not to go that much detail regarding this kind of news. Yes, this is important. IIFT tops the worldwide LinkedIn Global MBA ranking 24 in networking, holds 51st position among top 100 programs. LinkedIn, everyone knows, is kind of a social media platform for the jobs and sharing the job related or the work related information. So they conducted one survey recently, and one of the India's institution called as the IIFT tops the worldwide LinkedIn Global MBA ranking, and one of their program, that is networking, holds the 51st position in the top 100 programs. So questions will be asked. This information is shared by Commerce Ministry to the PIB. So again, very important, because the government shared this information, not any social media. So they shared this. Now first we'll talk about the institution called as the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. This is a government of India's institution, especially for MBA types program, and in top 100, this is at the 51st position. You can see over here. So question definitely will be asked. IIFT we created in 1963, comes under Government of India. They have 3 branches. The main branch is in New Delhi, then Kolkata and the Kakinada. So they are the 3 branches, 3 campuses they have. So question again can be asked in a static angle when it comes to such kind of news. I'll go back and we'll discuss few things. The topmost institution, if we'll talk about, which is mentioned over here, in the lines of Harvard, which they have mentioned. So we are comparing directly with those institutions. So remember that. That's it. Nothing more. Yes, Professor Rakesh Mohan is a Vice Chancellor of this institution. Again, not for the RBI Grade B, not for the SEBI or the NABARD. If you are planning to give other exams, this question can be there. तो थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखिएगा. Okay. Sorry, I was talking about on the lines of Harvard, but the topmost institution according to this survey is Stanford. Stanford is at the top of this ranking, and Indian institution has the 51st rank. That's it. Quality Council of India approves National Test House Ghaziabad as a certification body of type certification for the drones. Now, Quality Council of India. First of all, we'll talk about this. This is the Government of India's institution. they check the quality of any kind of manufactured products in India or any kind of products which we producing in this country. So they basically check the quality of that. So Quality Council of India created a testing institution, a testing house called as a National Test House in Ghaziabad for drones. In India right now, drone manufacturing is very in a very bigger quantity. Many companies are there, many startups are there. They are producing, they are manufacturing the drones, but their quality check is at the same time very important. So that's why Quality Council of India created National Test House in Ghaziabad, where we are going to test these drones which are manufactured in India by other different companies. Now, Quality Council of India created in 1997. Jaxi Shah is the chairperson of Quality Council of India. This authority works closely with the Consumer Affairs Ministry. We have Consumer Affairs Ministry in our country. So this institution works very closely with that institution. So again, the question can be asked in the exam. Again, remember that this institution going to create National Test House in which city? Ghaziabad, and this is only for drone certification. जितने क्वालिटी ड्रोन्स हमारे देश में बनेंगे, जितने बढ़िया से बढ़िया क्वालिटी वाले ड्रोन्स बनेंगे, उतना एक्सपोर्ट it will definitely going to boost the export of our country, and that's why this news is important. Now, special railway coach dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi at the Gandhi Darshan Rajghat के सिंपल है, आप इसको स्किप करना है तो कर सकते हैं, PIB के अंदर कवर किया गया था. It can be a phase 1 question. So right now if you want to skip, you can definitely skip. So every year before the 2nd of October we are organizing many functions. So one of the function or one of the dedicated program by the Culture Ministry, not by the Railway Ministry, Culture Ministry at the Rajghat for the focusing on the Gandhi Darshan in that way. That's it, nothing more. Ministry of Culture, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, the Minister of Culture over here. Though we are keeping a dedicated railway coach, but not railway ministry is not involved directly. A culture ministry is involved around this particular scenario. That's it. Yes, this is important. Simultaneous launch of Malpe and Mulki, 4th and 5th ship of the ASW-SWC project. Now, what exactly this? दो ships है जो Indian Navy को dedicate की गई. So first we'll talk about that. Exactly क्या चीज है? Now ध्यान दीजिएगा. एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर शॉलो वाटर क्राफ्ट प्रोजेक्ट. एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर शॉलो वाटर क्राफ्ट प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर we created 2 ships. One is called as a Malpe, another is called as a Mulki. So these two ships being handed over to Navy by Cochin Shipyard Limited. Cochin Shipyard Limited is the name of the government of India's company. डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर कंपनी काम करती है, शिप बिल्डिंग के लिए कंपनी काम करती है. सो वी क्रिएटेड एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर शिप्स जो सबमरीन्स को काउंटर करने के लिए हेल्प कर सकता है. तो उसी की यहां पे बात की गई है. सो इट्स एग्जांपल ऑफ आत्मनिर्भर भारत. अगेन माहे, मालवन, मांगरू, then Malpe and Mulki. So total 8 ships will be there. So out of the 8 ships, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships are already being given to the Navy. Rest of the 3 ships are yet to be announced. 3 ships अभी भी announce होनी है. 5 ships है जो already हमने Navy को दे दी है. Recently ये दोनों ships एक साथ दी गई. Again एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर के लिए ये यूज होगी. एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर के लिए हमारे पास और कुछ शिप्स हैं जिसको अर्नाल क्लास शिप्स कहते हैं. अर्नाल, अंजादीप, अमीनी, आगरे, अंद्रोथ एंड अक्षय के दीज आर द अदर शिप्स. ये थोड़ी बड़ी शिप्स है, ये शॉलो वाटर शिप्स है. जो नाम दिए गए, ये नाम किस बेसिस पे दिए गए? इंडिया का जो कोस्टल एरिया है वही कोस्टल एरियाज के नाम इसको दिए गए हैं. सो दे आर द शॉलो वाटर शिप्स, दे आर द बिग शिप्स, बोथ आर द एंटी सबमरीन शिप्स. सो आउट ऑफ 8, 5 already being handed over to the Indian Navy. Now rest of the 3 the names are yet to be decided, and they will be very soon developed by the Cochin Shipyard Limited. That's it. Union Minister Shri Rajiv Ranjan Singh to launch Pradhan Mantri Matsya Kisan Samruddhi Sah Yojana. Another announcement by the government of India. We have Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, there is a sub scheme called as a Pradhan Mantri Kisan प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य किसान समृद्धि सह योजना. Now, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of Saha Yojana? But before that, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana was launched in year 2020 by the government of India, focusing on boosting India's fisheries export. So will generate about 55 lakh direct indirect employment. That is a major focus. Now 220 LMT by 24-25 fish production. So basically fish production and the export को बूस्ट करने के लिए 2020 में प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना को लॉन्च किया गया. अब उसी के अंदर एक सब स्कीम लॉन्च की हुई है. सब स्कीम इज अगेन फोकसिंग ऑन प्रधानमंत्री किसान समृद्धि सह योजना के इज अ सब स्कीम विच विल बी फ्रॉम द 6,000 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट यहां पे एक्सपेक्टेड है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को. पर्पस क्या है? The program focus on means this Saha Yojana is focusing on production, productivity, improving quality, boosting export, reducing post-harvest losses, fostering innovation, innovative technologies, infusion, entrepreneurship, development, create livelihood, employment opportunities to fisheries, fish farmers, other stakeholders, welfare of fisheries, fish farmers. तो बेसिकली यहां पे एक सर्टन टारगेट नहीं सेट किया है, ओवरऑल वेलफेयर के एंगल में और ओवरऑल वेलफेयर फोकस के साथ इस सह योजना को गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने स्टार्ट किया हुआ है. अगेन आवर फिशरीज मिनिस्ट्री इज इन द हैंड्स ऑफ Rajiv Ranjan Singh sir. He is a minister right now, so he announced about this Saha Yojana. That's it. So main yojana is Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, and the sub scheme which was launched called as a Pradhan Mantri Matsya Kisan Samruddhi Saha Yojana. Now recently GST Council meeting was there, and in the GST Council meeting few important announcements been given by the our GST Council chairperson. GST Council chairperson is a finance minister of India. So Nirmala Sitharaman ji announced few things. The most awaited thing was again postponed. The most awaited thing was for GST Council regarding health and life insurance के ऊपर का जो प्रीमियम के ऊपर जो जीएसटी लगता है, हेल्थ एंड लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के प्रीमियम्स के ऊपर जो जीएसटी लगता है, उस जीएसटी को कम करने के लिए जीएसटी काउंसिल का डिसीजन होना था, पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली उसे पोस्टपोन किया गया है. शायद नेक्स्ट मंथ के मीटिंग में इसका अनाउंसमेंट किया जाएगा. बट फ्यू अदर अनाउंसमेंट्स वर गिवन बाय द जीएसटी काउंसिल. बट बिफोर दैट, जीएसटी काउंसिल इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी which was created of course by the GST law in 2017 by creating constitutional article 279A. Remember that GST Council is a constitutional body, so but obvious there will be a constitutional article. कोई भी अथॉरिटी, कोई भी संस्था अगर कोई भी संस्था अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर मेंशन की जाती है तो उसको कोई ना कोई आर्टिकल नंबर रहेगा. यहाँ पे 279A. GST Council is a topmost authority or the leading institution or the apex authority to decide about the GST rules, regulations, percentage of taxes, which goods and services should be the part of GST, should not be the part of GST, what will be the tax on those things will be everything will be decided by the GST Council. GST Council is headed by Finance Minister. So Union Finance Minister, she is the head of GST Council. Then Deputy Finance Minister will be there, and the finance ministers of all the states and some union territories like Delhi and the Puducherry will be the part of this GST Council. So that is the composition. So what they have decided, let's discuss about this. First thing which is most important, they have reduced the GST on some cancer medicines. So they decided to reduce the GST on some cancer drugs from 12% to 5%. Other than that, the GST reduction on the snacks from 18% to 12%, that is also announced by them. I will discuss one more thing with you. Just one sec. I guess I need to go to the PIB document only. So we'll discuss from here. Yeah. Which major things they announced. Just like I have mentioned, the thing about the life and health insurance premium GST that is postponed. Okay, the next thing regarding the drugs जिसके ऊपर GST कम कर दिया गया 12 to 5%. The name of the drugs is also mentioned over here. The cancer drugs. GST Council rolls out the pilot for B2C invoicing. B2C business to customer जो invoicing होता है, e-invoicing, उसका प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर भी इन्होंने काम करना शुरू करने की बात की है. And next thing is that रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के लिए जो अलग अलग इक्विपमेंट्स की जरूरत पड़ती है, सर्विसेज की जरूरत पड़ती है, उसके ऊपर जो भी जीएसटी चार्ज होता है उसको भी हटा देने की बात की है। बिकॉज यूनिवर्सिटीज, द इंस्टीट्यूशंस इन इंडिया, दे आर डूइंग सम रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट वर्क already under income tax act. They are all exempted from such kind of activities. All are exempted, but under indirect tax we are still implementing some GSTs on these research services or the equipments used for the researchers. So that's why government decided to remove the GSTs, or the GST council decided to remove the GST from such kind of things. So the whole discussion is mentioned over here. We need not to go that much in detail. हमें इतना डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, but still important for the exam point of view. Yes, we'll go to the next. The list of outcomes: official visit of Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, to India. So Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, UAE. Okay, so वहां के जो Crown Prince है, he came to India and we had some important agreements. UAE is very important for our country because we have the free trade agreement with this country. So उनके क्राउन प्रिंस अगर इंडिया आते हैं तो ऑफकोर्स क्या क्या एग्रीमेंट्स हुए हमें देखना पड़ेगा. So these are list of agreements. They are very simple, not that difficult, but we need to go, we need to read them out. MOU between the field of Barak nuclear power plant, operations and maintenance between the Emirates Nuclear Energy Company and Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. So we are going to help them for the creation of the nuclear power plant. An agreement for long-term LNG supply between Abu Dhabi National Oil Company and Indian Oil Corporation. This is another very important thing. Then ADNOC, that is Abu Dhabi National Oil Company and India Strategic Petroleum Resource Limited, इनका भी एक MOU हुआ है. Then concessional agreement between Abu Dhabi Onshore Block 1 between Urja Bharat and ADNOC, and MOU between Government of Gujarat and Abu Dhabi Development Holdings on food park development in India. UAE is very much depending on the agriculture and the food products from India. So Abu Dhabi and Gujarat government together going to develop a food parks in Gujarat, will be helpful for export. Now rest of the agreements are mostly focusing on energy field. One is for nuclear energy, another for the liquefied natural gas, other than petroleum resources and the production of the petroleum product. So that these were the agreements which we have discussed or signed with the Abu Dhabi while the visit of their crown prince. Abu Dhabi, UAE's capital is Abu Dhabi. Okay, basically UAE, United Arab Emirates, having 5 emirs, 5 emirs या 5 राजाओं को मिलके ये कंट्री बनी है. The one of the biggest emir is Abu Dhabi. That's why it plays a vital role. Then there is Sharjah, Dubai, Ajman, Umal Al Quwan. Sorry, 5 only. I was talking about the seven emirs, very sorry, 7 emirs were there. So 7 emirs came together and created UAE. So Abu Dhabi is become the biggest emir. Emir means the kingdoms, basically 7 kingdoms, they came together and created this particular country. Yes, 5 successful years of प्रधानमंत्री किसान मानधन योजना. तो 5 साल कंप्लीट हुए किसान मानधन योजना के लिए. अब ध्यान दीजिए, किसान मानधन योजना is basically a pension scheme for the farmer. A pension scheme for the farmer. Whenever there is a word Mandhan Yojana, basically talking about a pension kind of scheme. So this is Kisan Mandhan. So after the age of 60, small and marginal farmers are going to get monthly pension of 3,000. Assured monthly pension of 3,000 for small and marginal farmers. So right now 23.38 lakh farmers being registered under this प्रधानमंत्री मानधन योजना. तो क्वेश्चंस यहां पे डेफिनेटली एग्जाम में पूछने वाले हैं. सबसे पहले बात करते हैं योजना कब लॉन्च हुई थी. तो योजना को हमने 2019 में लॉन्च किया. 2019 में इस योजना को लॉन्च किया गया. इस योजना के अंदर फिक्स मंथली पेंशन ऑफ 3,000 आफ्टर अटेनिंग द एज ऑफ 60 ये प्रॉमिस किया गया है. अगेन कंट्रीब्यूशन के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा कि आप कितना कंट्रीब्यूट करते हो. ये भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर यहां पे बनने वाला है. अब यहां पे एक ध्यान रखिएगा, इस योजना के अंदर आपको एनरोल कब करना है. सो 18 to 40 के बीच में एनरोल करना है. पेंशन जो है वो आफ्टर 60 के बाद मिलेगा. 60 के बाद पैसा आपके पास आएगा. कंट्रीब्यूशन जो होगा वो 55 to 200 के बीच में पर मंथ का कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा जो आपको करना है. 18 to 40 में आप एनरोल कीजिए. फिर उसके हिसाब से कंट्रीब्यूशन कीजिए। आफ्टर द 60 3,000 रुपीज एश्योर्ड पेंशन पर मंथ ये दिया जाएगा। अब अगर आपने इस पॉलिसी को लेट ज्वाइन किया तो आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन बढ़ जाएगा, पॉलिसी को जल्दी ज्वाइन कर लिया तो कंट्रीब्यूशन आपका पर मंथ के हिसाब से कम रहेगा। LIC is responsible for the implementation of this scheme. This is also mentioned by the government of India. याद रखना स्कीम कब लॉन्च हुई, स्कीम इज ओनली फॉर द स्मॉल एंड मार्जिनल फार्मर्स. The contribution or the enrollment into this scheme is from the 18 to 40 years. That is the first point. And the next point is that after the age of 60, 3,000 rupees per month will be provided to the farmers. That's another point mentioned by the government of India. Yes, the top 10 states with this scheme, the Bihar is having the maximum enrollment under this scheme, then Jharkhand, then Uttar Pradesh. So these are the states जहां पे सबसे ज्यादा enrollment है किसान मानधन योजना के अंदर. That's it. Yeah, I'll go to the next news. Next news is very simple. International Cooperative Alliance. The meeting will be from the 25th to 30th of November. Cooperative Sahakar. We have the separate cooperative ministry under Amit Shah sir. India is one of the biggest cooperative oriented country. Many big cooperative institutions in India like IFFCO, Amul, and one of very successful institution, and that's why a cooperative conference will be organized. A global conference will be in the month of November. That's it. Nothing much to discuss about this news. इतना enough रहेगा. सिर्फ इसका theme देख लेते. Cooperatives build prosperity for all. That is the theme which government of India is going to keep. That's it. बाकी तो enough है exam के लिए. Yes, this institution called as a इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेटिव अलायंस की हम बात करते हैं. इस अलायंस को 1895 में क्रिएट किया गया लंदन के अंदर के इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेटिव अलायंस. तो इसी के अंदर इसे ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाएगा. आई विल टेक द लास्ट टू न्यूज. एमसीक्यूज मैं इस पीडीएफ के अंदर ऑलरेडी डाल के रखे हुए. जो एमसीक्यूज आप एज अ होमवर्क आप उसे जरूर सॉल्व कीजिएगा, आप उसे एक बार जरूर गो थ्रू कीजिएगा. और जब भी मौका मिलेगा मैं डेफिनेटली एमसीक्यूज के ऊपर कभी ना कभी आपके साथ जरूर डिस्कस करूंगा. बट टाइम थोड़ा सा कम है. नेक्स्ट टाइम से वी आर मेकिंग सम चेंजेस. द चेंजेस इज दैट ऑन द डेली बेसिस हम एक पीआईबी का रिकॉर्डिंग आपको दे देंगे. एक पीआईबी का जो इंपॉर्टेंट पीआईबी की न्यूज है उसका रिकॉर्डेड सेशन हम आपको दे देंगे. और मंडे को हम सिर्फ एमसीक्यू फिर डिस्कस कर पाएंगे. तो हमें पीआईबी की न्यूज को अलग से मींस इस तरीके से कवर करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. तो डेली बेसिस पे जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पीआईबी न्यूज है फॉर फेज 1 फेज 2 सब कुछ मार्क करके आपको रिकॉर्डेड सेशन प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा. तो उसकी शुरुआत मोस्टली कल से होने वाली है. कल से मोस्टली आपको मिल जाएगा. तो अभी इसीलिए एमसीक्यूज में इस बार पीडीएफ में आपको दे रहा हूं. नेक्स्ट टाइम से हम डायरेक्टली एमसीक्यूज का ही डिस्कशन करेंगे. इंडिया यूएस ज्वाइंट मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज युद्ध अभ्यास ये राजस्थान के अंदर रिसेंटली कंडक्ट किया गया. दैट इज सिंपल स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. युद्ध अभ्यास is one of the very important exercise जो 2004 से from 2020 to 2004 we are conducting with the USA. So that will be enough for the exam point of view. Other than Yuddha Abhyas, we have Vajra Prahar, another exercise with USA. Then Tiger Triumph is another bilateral exercise with the USA. Malabar is a multilateral exercise. यहाँ पे 4 countries आती है. Rimpag is multilateral, Red Flag is multilateral. Vajra Prahar, Tiger Triumph and Yuddha Abhyas, they are the bilateral, means only 2 countries are participating into these exercises. Last news पे आते हैं. आत्मनिर्भर in defense. Ministry of Defense signed 26,000 crore contract with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for Sukhoi 30 Mark 1 aircraft. Sukhoi planes are basically from Russia, but the engines of this plane now will be manufactured in India. So government of India signed the agreement with HL. HL is government of India's company only. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited from Bengaluru, they got this contract. So again, while writing the case study about the success of Atmanirbhar Bharat in India or success of Make in India, so there you can mention about this because the Sukhoi planes are basically from the USA. But now we ourselves are going to manufacture their engines. So indigenization of defense sector is there in India. That is the best example, a best case study for you. That will be the case. That's it, guys. I will stop here. यहाँ रुकना पड़ेगा because next session भी आपका रहेगा. तो उसके पहले हम यहाँ रुक जाते हैं. Again, remember, जैसे मैंने कहा था कि MCQs ऑलरेडी मैंने यहाँ डाल के रखे हुए. तो I will show you the certain MCQs, like for example you can see, so PME बस सेवा वाला MCQ यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी आपके लिए है, सो MCQs हमने डाल के रखे हुए जो आपके प्रिपरेशन के लिए हेल्पफुल रहेगा. That's it from my side for the day. From tomorrow onwards, we are starting with the current affairs batch, in which we are going to discuss in detail. So उस बैच को भी ज्वाइन करना मत भूलिएगा, जो हमारे लक्ष्य बैच के अंदर रहेगा. ठीक है, that's it guys. We'll see you tomorrow 9 AM. सबसे पहले सुबह 6 बजे हमारा रेगुलर करंट अफेयर्स, 9 बजे बैंकिंग फाइनेंस वाला करंट अफेयर्स, उसके बाद मास्टर क्लास पेड बैच. तो ये बैक टू बैक सेशंस हमारे रहेंगे आपके आने वाली एग्जाम्स के लिए. ओके, एंड पीडीएफ आपको तुरंत में टेलीग्राम पे मिल जाएगा, वहां से आप एक बार जरूर गो थ्रू कीजिएगा. ठीक है, बाय बाय, टेक केयर.